This radio show might make you cry, will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Jacob. Hey, it is March Madness. Happy Thursday, 3-6 Nation. How's everybody? We've got a show for you. Listen, I'm just not even gonna lie. I'm ill-prepared. I am probably the most ill-prepared I have ever been, but we're just gonna have to go with it. I had a co-host. He canceled. You guys may have seen that on Facebook. Reese Waters, ESPN and WSA 9. And Reese had, Jacob, check this out. He had his people call me. Like, I didn't even know that Reese had, like, people. Like, I mean, Reese, you know, how'd you get them people that quick? Okay, but anyway, I'm going to get at him on Facebook Messenger. That's where you, like, really go off on people is Facebook Messenger. But that's okay. Show must go on. We're going to do our thing here at 3-6 Nation. I've got Dr. Paul Lachalier. How was that, Paul? All right, Paul's in the building. He is here from Learning Life Organization. He's going to talk to us about the wonderful nonprofit work that they're doing. I was amazed by this nonprofit. You know, you guys know I always do a community spotlight segment where we try to highlight all the good things that are happening in the city. We always hear about all the bad. And so I came across this organization. Paul and I were at a grant meeting, and I'd never heard of an organization that does the work that he does, the pairing of low-income families here with other low-income families in other nations. And so I thought it was extremely unique, and I wanted to give him an opportunity and a platform to discuss the great work that he's doing. And he just came back from a trip that he's going to share with us as well. So I'm excited about that. I've got my instructors from Yoga Heights in the building. Give it up for Yoga Heights. You guys can clap. This is a live studio audience. Yay! All right, there we go. There's that energy. Y'all didn't clap for Paul like that. Clap for Paul, Dr. Paul. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're alive now. We're alive. I told you guys, I'm a little dry today, but we're going to get through it. Ivan is stuck in traffic. And so I'm going to ask a person to come up and help me co-host. Madison, can you come up? From the Girl Scouts, give it up for Madison. Come on up here. Get up there. Okay, is that microphone working, Jacob? So, Madison, you're here from the Girl Scouts?
Yes.
Oh, I know you're not shy, so you better get on this microphone and talk. And how are the Girl Scouts going?
Good.
Yeah? You brought me some cookies here today.
Yeah.
What kind of cookies did I order? I forgot because it was like 18 months ago. You don't remember? Oh, they're being delivered. This is the magic of TV. Cookies are sliding in from the side. Talk to me about these cookies. This is amazing for me, you guys. I've known Madison since she was in her mom's belly, and she's so quiet right now. This is absolutely crazy. You do videos on your own. Don't you have your own YouTube channel? You literally have more followers than I do. Like, what's happening right now? Talk to me about the cookies. What's your favorite cookie?
S'mores.
Okay, why the s'mores?
Because my mom didn't know that I ate them once, and Grandpa got in trouble because Grandpa let me have 2 bites of a s'mores cookie. That's my favorite one. Out of the 2 things that I can eat. So let me interpret this. You set your grandfather up and threw him under the bus, and he got in trouble because you ate the cookies? Yeah. Okay, just wanted to check. All right, that's all I wanted. Just check it. Okay. Do you have a pick for March Madness? Are you aware of what March Madness is? Do you like basketball? Kind of.
Okay. Kind of is good. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with kind of. I'm not sure if Madison will still be hosting when you get back from commercial break. We need to pay some bills real quick, Jacob. So let's talk about, the place with the best wings, Crystal City Sports Pub. It's 3-6 Nation. We'll be right back.
It's Sean Parker here, and whenever I want some good food in nice-sized portions, not bird-sized food, but big boy portions, I look no further than the Crystal City Sports Pub. Now, if you just stayed on the original first story of the restaurant, you'd be more than happy with the pool tables and the aforementioned good food, but then they went and added a grand second story with, check this out, 6 37-inch LCDs, 2 8-foot projection screen TVs, and a 10-foot projection screen TV, and as a cherry on the top, a state-of-the-art sound booth. They're open 365 days a year, and they are waiting for you. The Crystal City Sports Pub, 529 23rd Street South in Arlington, Virginia. Call them at 703-521-8215 or visit them on the web at ccsportspub.com.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their Development Zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
All right, we are back. This is still not Ivan. As you guys, if you guys follow the show, you know Ivan looks very different than this. No offense, Paul. He just look
like a pasty white man.
Yeah. Hey, see, you said that. Yeah. You went there. I didn't say that. It's okay. How you know Ivan's black? But anyway, Wakanda for life. Anyway, so Dr. Paul Lashlier, how am I doing?
Very good.
Lashlier
good practice.
is here from Learning Life, and I told people briefly when we opened the show that I was so excited about the work that you're doing in the community here and how you're literally like bridging communities over oceans and water and so please talk to us about what Learning Life's mission is.
Sure. So let me give you a little bit of background about myself
Please.
And about the organization. So I'm a sociologist by training.
Okay.
Up until 2000.
It's like a real degree, huh? Like you told your parents you were going to get a degree in sociology.
Yeah. It was one degree after another.
Okay, I'm just checking.
In the same discipline. So I taught university sociology until 2012, then left academia to start Learning Life. And Learning Life is an educational nonprofit. We started this citizen diplomacy initiative in 2016.
Okay.
It was the outgrowth of basically two things. One is I'm French of origin. I was born in France, lived in France until age 11, and then moved to the United States.
Oui.
Yeah, exactly.
Had some French fries early in here. You know?
My interest has long been in kind of cultural differences because there are striking cultural differences between the French and Americans. But also, I had done a couple of live dialogues between students at the Stetson University, where I taught in Florida, and students in Paris and in Cairo back in 2009, 2011. And both those dialogues went very well, but they were discrete dialogues, at just one single dialogues and nothing much else. But then in November 2015, there were terrorist attacks in Paris. So well-known terrorist attacks had happened. And so that got me thinking that we needed to be doing as an organization, because in essence, we're an educational nonprofit that's trying to innovate education by spreading education beyond school walls.
Right.
That's with the understanding that a lot of learning happens outside of
the textbooks and outside of those walls.
So of kids know a lot of things, but those things they're learning from TV, they're learning from their phones, they're learning from their parents, et cetera, and so forth. So we want to kind of innovate learning outside the classroom and outside school walls. So we developed the Citizen Diplomacy Initiative, which is now our flagship program. And the Citizen Diplomacy Initiative is different from what exists out there currently. So there's growing interest in international education.
Right.
And that's because we live in a globalizing world, right? So it's not just bad stuff like terrorism, climate change, disease, refugee crisis. It's also the good stuff. we get products, including Toyota cars and all kinds of goods, food, et cetera, and so forth. Pineapple, the likelihood is if you like pineapple, it doesn't come from the United States.
Well, and it's time we started doing that, though, Paul, because, I mean, quite frankly, our education system here is broken. And so borrowing and looking at other cultures, I think, it's well overdue for us to be doing that. So I appreciate that. But go ahead.
Yeah, and so what we do, so there's growing interest in international education, but a lot of the international education that's happening is happening in schools. So it's happening between student to student, or it's classroom to classroom.
Right. Okay.
And it tends to happen in relatively privileged institutions, right?
Right.
So generally speaking, the people who tend to be able to travel abroad have the money to travel abroad. It's expensive to travel abroad.
Absolutely.
You have to pay for the flight, you have to pay for a hotel, you have to pay for food on the ground,
while you're there,
et cetera, and so forth. So, but the internet opens up some serious potential for meaningful interaction if it's properly kind of modeled for meaningful interaction between people across borders. And so our approach is family to family.
Okay.
So it's not student to student, it's not classroom to classroom, it's family to family.
So walk me through it for the lay people, right? So I'm a family here of 3. There's a family, name a place that you're.
So we in Senegal, in
Okay.
Dakar, the capital of Senegal.
You just got back from Senegal, right?
Yep.
So it is a family there in Senegal that kind of mirrors the family that's here in a low income. They're both low income families.
Yeah, exactly.
And what are they doing? Because I have to be honest with you, I thought the program was great, and I love what you guys are doing. I thought it might be depressing too. You broke, I'm broke. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Well, if anything, what they learn, what Americans learn, what lower income American families learn, is
we
that
ain't that broke.
We
ain't that broke.
Right? So I think it's eye opening in that sense, because you do learn just how crushing poverty can be elsewhere. But generally speaking, we don't actually work with families that are in abject poverty. We work with families that have a home and have some means to be able to connect to the internet. So that's already saying a lot.
Okay, perfect.
However, all of the families that we work with, so we systematically screen wherever they are in the world. And currently we're in Jordan, we're in Senegal, and we're in El Salvador. We're hoping to expand to China later this year. All of them are below the median household income for their country.
Okay.
So they're the bottom half of their country in terms of income. And then in addition, the parents have to have less than a bachelor's degree or 4-year university degree.
So those are some of your that's how you're targeting these. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you going through the schools to find these families?
It depends, and so this is an interesting story. So here in D.C., we work in Ward 8, the poorest ward of Washington, D.C., and we reach out in a variety of ways. So coming on the show is one modest way that we try to let people know about our program, and it's free, by the way, to the participating families, so they don't have to do anything.
It's free.
And we bring a lot to it. So we go to schools. We send information out via Facebook and other media, social media locally. But internationally, it's a little different. So I'll give you an example. In Senegal, the way we got to Senegal, we wanted to be in West Africa, in French-speaking West Africa, but it was actually one of our former interns who, after graduating from Georgetown, she moved to Senegal, and she started connecting us to people there. In the case of El Salvador, it was a professional colleague of mine who connected us to a nonprofit there. And then in Jordan, it was literally a guy I met at the gym whose father is Jordanian, happened to live in Jordan. He connected me to a family in
So you're
Jordan.
using your network to get this done. Eddie, talk to me a little bit about special education. Are you guys hitting students or families that have special education students in them, or are you looking at this not any differently? They can be a part of that or not, or is there a certain segment of just special education students, or talk to me a little bit about that.
So we take, generally speaking, our parameters are that we need to have at least one child between the ages of 8 and 18.
Okay.
We'd like to have more in the family because those are the kids that are going to be able to benefit most from the dialogues. And generally speaking, kids with certain disabilities, for instance, dyslexia, I think are totally appropriate for this kind of program. But kids with severe mental disabilities, it may not be as useful for them. So it just depends on the disability.
Gotcha. And not why not that you're being exclusive, but talk to me about what the dialogue entails. So I'm imagining right now they're on a computer, they're Skyping each other, and what's the dialogue like? Is there homework? Talk to us about the program that's happening when they're sharing information and collaboration.
Yeah, so we are trying to develop a set of things. One is their knowledge of the world.
Okay.
Two is their attitudes towards the world, right? To more tolerance towards people who are different is particularly important to us.
Okay.
And then three is civic skills. So basically, what I mean by civic skills are skills that anybody needs to tackle issues local to global. So that can be photography, because photography is a fantastic way to capture social problems. So the first project that we did last year, so all the families engage in projects together.
Okay.
The first project they did last year was a community photo voice project. So all the families were asked to answer the question, what is the nature of your community? And to do that through photos. So they took photos here in DC, in Senegal, and Jordan. It took about 500 photos. And then we distilled that into a PowerPoint presentation featuring their photos. And that project led to the second project because we noticed some rather intriguing differences in the kinds of foods they were eating, perhaps not surprisingly.
Right.
And so our second project this year is a food culture project where we are getting them to explore what they eat, how they shop for their food, and then how they prepare their food.
So talk to me about like a success story or what you want to come out of this, but put it in not data terms, but in story format of like the reason you do this is because then Johnny here, then what?
Yeah, absolutely. So fundamentally, this is about empowering people lower down the socioeconomic scale and doing it within a family context, because the family is so vital to education, right? So, but because we work with lower income families, you can't expect miracles to happen, right? You have to be patient, and you have to work in the long term. So our model is to work with families in the long term. So a lot of programs are 6 months, a year, and then that's it. And they say, "Oh, look what great things we did from point A to point B."
Get the data, and that's it, right?
Right. But the reality is, you really have to have a long-term relationship with the family. So we are purposefully starting very small. We literally work with 5 to 10 families here in DC.
Okay.
We currently have 3 families in Senegal. We've got 2 families in El Salvador. We have 1 family in Jordan. We're growing slowly because we're kind of defining.
You want to know the growing pains. You want to do it right. And
exactly.
Have the long-term data to support.
So we're refining things. We're collecting a lot of data and so on. But in the long term, we want the core goal is to develop caring, capable global citizens.
Okay.
And we do that through these live internet dialogues and project collaboration. So that the idea is that a kid, right, that starts at, say, age 8 with us, and at that point, sometimes the kids, like this is true, they can't locate the United States on a map, let alone where Africa is or anything like that, right? By the time they finish with us, they have a much deeper, over one project after another, and they dialogue with one country after another with many families across the world. So that by the time they're 18, they have a much deeper sense of the world.
Right.
And they also have something that a lot of kids don't have, which is I've actually not just dialogued, but I've completed projects with people across the world, and I can speak to that experience in a meaningful way. Right?
Well, and I think it would help also with how we view each other when we're starting at young people. Being able to really, power change or how we view each other, whether it's culture or color, So I applaud you. We could talk about this all day long. What I would like to do is have you back on a show where we could do like a live thing where we're talking a family here in DC, awesome. Bring them in studio, and then talk to another family somewhere else.
Yeah,
that would be kind of hot.
Because of the time difference, you just have to time it right. But
absolutely, we can be here anytime. I'm up all night. It's fine. Whatever it is, we can work that out.
Yeah.
But that would be super cool. How are you funding this whole thing?
Currently, it's largely unfunded.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you broke too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we're a lot of broke people around. But I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this. But the obviously in the long term, and that's why we're rigorous about data collection. We want to develop this and expand it and have it funded in the long term.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, give people the information of the website, how they can get in contact with you, social media, looking at that camera, and tell everybody how to find out more information.
Great. So the best thing to do is to go to our website. It's learninglife.info. You can also contact me directly at paul@learninglife.info. There, because we are a nonprofit, we do welcome donations if you'd like to donate to our program. But you're more than welcome to connect with us, especially if you happen to live in Ward 8 and you are a lower income family, or if you know of lower income families in Ward 8 that might be interested. We're definitely interested in hearing from you.
Perfect. Have you talked? This is my last question with Trayon White, the.
He's a busy man,
yeah.
And I have talked with him, and I will continue to kind of.
I got him in my pocket. So I'll. He's coming on the show. I think I want to say in May. And we talk all the time, and so I'll make sure I have you back on that particular show because I think it could be beneficial for you guys to have,
absolutely.
some increased dialogue. He is, passionate about the ward, and I don't know if you know, but before he was council member, he was on the school board. He was the school board rep, so he's been a good guy. Helped me in 100 years when Carrie and I had a school. That's a whole nother lifetime ago. So I'll put you guys in contact. I think you're doing great work. So. In fact, Jacob, is Jacob sitting there? Oh, Jacob, we have a little bit of the video from Learning Life. So we're going to go commercial break, take a look at Learning Life. Dr. Paul Lashley, dang on it, I had it up in there. Dr. Paul Lashley, thank you for joining us. You are a friend to the program. I appreciate the work you're doing in the community. We'll be right back.
So education in the classroom is where people expect to learn. And for a lot of kids, learning in the classroom is a pain in the butt, to be honest. It's something they have to do rather than something that they want to do. And learning in everyday life, and at least the kind of model that we follow at Learning Life, is a model that tries to draw on the interests of the children. So rather than simply teaching them math or teaching them English, we try to get our children and families involved in projects and to have some determination over the kinds of issues that they pursue through our projects. So Learning Life was established in 2012. Learning Life is, in some sense, a kind of a lab for all kinds of projects intended to nurture learning in everyday life. So our initial focus as an organization was to use everyday surfaces like napkins, placemats, coasters, etc., and so forth, to print information of public value, to start conversations in everyday contexts like restaurants and bars and cafes that might not otherwise occur. Conversations about history, conversations about public affairs and issues of common concern. Our Citizen Diplomacy Initiative is a program of Learning Life. Mission is to nurture caring, connected, skilled, and informed global citizens. And we do that through live international dialogues on the internet between families and project collaborations between those families. The way in which
3-6 Nation, sports in a minute. College football coaching news dominating the sports landscape. Veteran NFL head coach and
You know what? No, first of all, the NFL has getting their stuff together, all right? They are taking this off season. They're getting new sponsors. Papa John's is out. Pizza Hut is in, all right?
First off,
yeah.
Hi, Ivan.
Hi, Monica.
I feel like it's been forever since we've been on
like
air.
You haven't been around.
I've been running my mouth.
I just came back from Pennsylvania.
What were you doing?
Well, I was a little...
You don't live in Pennsylvania.
I do not live in Pennsylvania. I was helping newly minted congressional representative Connor Lamb get his vote out.
I would like for you to say Connor Lamb one more time like that.
newly minted State Representative Connor Lamb.
Look who's in the building! Anthony!
It's Anthony.
There's an IT.
Everything is going great. So we went out, I got to meet all kinds of Rust Belters, telling them, hey, like, are you voting tomorrow?
Right.
And they said, hell, like, I had the most angry people you have ever met. And not because of any political organization, just because they had people knocking on their doors like 5, 6, 7 times. They're like, if you come again, I will shoot you. Like, I swear to God, if I see another person, I will kill someone. I'm like, all right, have a good day, sir. Vote for Lamb. Vote for Lamb.
So did you fly or take the train?
I drove.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and there was a snowstorm that hit.
Yeah.
We ducked around. It was great. I came back. Pittsburgh was lovely. I met a lot of nice people. I met this woman, Deplorable Lori. She was that's her Twitter handle. You can look her up. # Deplorable Lori. Deplorable Lori. But
what's up, Deplore?
We had such a great argument, as I do, and for about like 30 minutes, we just went back and forth. And at the end of it, she gave me a hug. She took our information. And I think that's what it really is. It's not about fighting with people.
So is Lori gonna call in next week?
Yeah, I can get you know what? If she sends me an email, I'll hook her up.
Oh, you didn't get her information.
I didn't. No. I don't. I want to make sure I'm not.
She pretended like she was gonna reach out.
That's true. But it was a lot of fun.
Lori ain't messing with you.
So
all right,
that was Pennsylvania. We're back.
Talk to me about your boy Trump. What's going on?
Ooh, all right.
I'm gonna give you 1 minute on it. Just I see that you need to get it.
Okay, first of all, Donald Trump is under investigation. He has every subpoena in the world has just come and hit the Trump organization. He got rid of his boy Rex Tillerson, who was a Secretary of State. He wants to go to war, ladies and gentlemen. He is putting in place of Rex Tillerson, the diplomat, Mike Pompeo, who was the head of the CIA, who said, let's do this. And also Nikki Haley, who is the UN representative, she said, if diplomacy fails, Mattis is going to have to go to war. And then Jim Mattis says, it looks like we're going to war. Admiral of the Pacific Fleet, Harry Harris. Harry Harris. I'm so bad at names. Harry Harris said, we're only doing two things. We're going to go for full war or no war at all. And I'm not saying which one it is, but it's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
So everybody calm down.
Heads or tail.
Ooh, take a breath.
Right.
It's going to be okay.
Is it?
We're in this together. Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Okay. When's it going to be okay?
It's going to be okay in 2022.
I'm going to give my March Madness predictions. You should give your political predictions.
I say we are going to have stuff hitting the fan before July. One way or the other, congressional Republicans are going to melt down. November is going to be a horrible, horrible battle. You're going to get so tired of it. We are going to be at war this year, if we are going to be at war at all. So it's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. But it's not going to happen at all. President Pence, I'm looking forward to meeting you, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
I was just getting ready. You stole that from me. I was just getting ready to segue into asking you about President Pence. All right.
Thanks. So, welcome to America.
So I don't have the video, but I want to talk to you about this anyway in our news segment. So, and people that are going to be on the show later, our yoga instructors can weigh in. And as we do things here, anybody that feels like talking, Jacob give them a microphone and they'll just yell out or scream out or whatever.
Fun times.
So there was a article that I read about a young woman. There was a play that was depicting school desegregation. Yep. I don't know if you saw this or not. And they did this play, and they had a little white girl, holding a sign. And in the play, she had to hold a sign saying, "We don't want you here."
Okay. And
her lines in the play were to yell at this little black girl, "Go away. Don't come to this school. We don't want you here." And so her parents, of course, were appalled because they said that they knew that she was going to be in the play.
Sure.
And they gave permission to the play for her to join the play, but they did not know what her lines were going to be. Yeah. She's also the only little white girl in the class.
Well, that's why she got cast. She got typecast. You can't have Shaniqua yelling, "Get out of here! We don't want you!" Like it doesn't. The visual isn't right.
So what I'm asking you is, should her parents have been that upset, or if she was just cast in the play as this role, what's really the big deal? Because you need this other information before you respond.
Okay.
There was another kid next to her that was also playing a role. same role, but as a male in the role, and he was black.
Yep.
And he had a sign, and he said, "Go back to Africa" was his lines.
Okay.
Now, this is elementary school play. I'll
Yeah.
just give you the setting. Does it matter that she was the only little white girl and they had her yelling racist stuff? Is it payback? Like, do you know how we feel now? Like, you say you just acting? Or, I mean, what? Talk to me about it.
That was what, 50
And
years ago?
somebody give Anthony a mic because he wants to say something.
Oh, he's excited. He's itching.
Give
You
him
can
a
see
mic,
him
Jake. I
twitch.
see it. He's thinking about
twitching.
it.
This was 50 years ago, right? This is not ancient history. This
Right.
is my parents heard those things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I don't think it is inappropriate to be talking about having these conversations with elementary school children any more than it would be inappropriate to have them go stay at grandma's house and grandma's talking about whatever because grandma lived through whatever.
Sure.
When it comes to theater though, and when it comes to acting,
I'm asking you because you just
because
fresh off your
I
little
do.
play.
I was a gay Nazi lover, right?
Exactly.
And so I am not
Or
in real
in
life
the play. In
a
the
gay.
play.
In the play. You have to. I think plays specifically are important for older people because they have to take those choices. I am choosing to represent something because it's controversial or because it's dangerous. When I was a kid, my parents wouldn't let me be in any kind of play because it had such a connection to the gay community. And my parents were like, no, we don't want you touching them, getting anywhere close to them. And
they don't be watching this show.
not anymore. And so they had to make those decisions about what they wanted me exposed to. I didn't have the choice of whether I wanted to do something or not. And so I don't have a problem with the parents being upset at the child saying, hey, we don't want our daughter in this thing.
Okay.
I think it's unfortunate.
Is the teacher wrong for putting the
I
only
don't
little
think the
white
teachers-
girl
no, not
in
at all.
the one
Not at
role
all.
that says we don't like black people? The teacher that wrong?
That was a bit made for her. That role was made for her. If I didn't have any white kids, I would put a kid in whiteface. I would take
Ooh,
some.
you
I
wrong.
would do it, right? You're supposed to be You want to be a little controversial when you're doing theater because you want people to be. They don't want. Boringness kills theater. You go,
Right.
I saw my 4-year-old do a play of Little Lambs and like, ugh.
Well,
and
when
you're
you
done.
when you look at the video, like you can hear literally parents, yes, gasp me. They're just like, when she said it,
Good.
I mean, she delivered the line.
Good.
She said, we don't want you here. Go back. Right.
That's really good.
And now she's like 5th grade. Ivan. She said,
When we saw at Charlottesville, right? They had those little 5-year-old protesters who were in the Ku Klux Klan shirts.
Yeah, right.
This is not something that 5-year-olds are not yelling.
Okay.
They need to be aware. Parents should be shocked.
Right.
They should be saying, "Oh no, we can't have this. What do we do?"
would
It's
it
not
been more
about hiding.
powerful
Yes.
if the white girl had played, since we're just gonna go with like the role and that's to teach and to learn about that time period, would it have been more powerful for her to have played one of the black kids that were trying to integrate the school? Like, what if she was, one
That would
of
have
the
been so
Little Rock-
confusing. I mean, I'm sorry.
I can't wait to see what
I
other people
can't.
think.
You're gonna get.
Okay.
Can somebody else help me out
Who
here?
else
Because I'm
has a
about to
microphone?
start a race war.
Rick, you
Give
agree
him a
with
microphone. Give my man a microphone.
Ricky Vaughn is here, back again. Hi, Ricky.
Running for senator of Maryland.
That's right. That's right.
I absolutely agree. I mean, it's a message that should be shared. It's a message that should be out there. I probably would.
Hold on. Here we go. Go ahead, Ricky. What were you saying?
Okay. I probably would agree that as a parent,
Yep.
that I would want to know what my child is saying so I can better educate and follow up when my child gets home.
That's going to be a
make
huge
Right.
follow-up.
So,
You're right.
so that's probably the only concern I would have. But as far as you're right, if it's a white kid is for that part, it's just like putting a black kid in a part. It represents that culture. So it is a strong message, but I would agree that I need to know what my child is going to be yelling. Because some of the backslash also come back to parents. Like, oh, well, is that really how they're raising their child at home?
And that's what they're afraid of. The mom was like, she was on vacation on a business trip.
Yeah.
And the father sent the clip, and she's all excited, sitting in the hotel bar, getting ready to watch the clip. And the clip is her daughter yelling this stuff. The dad was like, did you know? And she was like, no, I thought you knew. So they were floored, and they're worried about, the backlash, of her.
Good. Good. They should be aware that you can't just say. You realize how many people aren't aware of how controversial things can be. Dove doesn't even know what's good and bad. Like, they said, oh no, little Sally said, like, did you know? I didn't know. Did the teacher know? Who knew about this? Like, they're at least as conscious enough to know that this was problematic. Little Sally could have got off the stage and said, thank you very much, everybody. This is what it was like. Super scary, huh? Vote Democrat. Like, that could have been how it ended.
She could have, except for the fact, Ivan, that I've told you this she's in 5th grade.
I love 5th graders. They just marched out of school. They just had you had 5th graders all over the country.
I think we're putting a bit of pressure on the little girl. She also was just being helpful. Someone had dropped out of the role. And she volunteered. No. She didn't even know what she was volunteering for. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Someone got sick.
It's making it hard
said,
for me
we
to
need someone else to help. And her mom said she's just a natural helper. And so she put up her hand and said, I'll help.
I'll do it.
And then they gave her these little racist lines.
Hold
and now I'm worried about no one
talking to her at lunch and playing with her because they're confused. So hopefully the parents on the other side.
No, I think it was a very brave thing. I bet that gets her a scholarship to Harvard. She was in a nationally ranked play.
Unbelievable.
Controversial in 5th grade. That's the start of her career.
You know what you
Good
need
for
right
her.
now?
What?
You need some yoga. That's what you need. Because you're hyped and you're.
Can we do a little stretch?
Yeah,
a little
we're gonna take a very quick break, and then we will be joined by Yoga Heights yoga instructors, and give him some yoga. He needs to I don't know, whatever it is that you guys. Yeah, that's what it is.
Can you help me?
It's 36 Nation. We'll
I got
be right
some
back.
smiles.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security, just like the Marines did. At one point, I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over, and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family, and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all champions. We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
Together.
We win together.
If you can play,
you can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
Thought about launching a broadcasting career? Think you have what it takes to become a broadcasting professional? Learn the skills that will make people want to tune in. Join Monica Livingston, radio personality and owner of 36 Nation, for a career development workshop on what it takes to be a radio DJ, sportscaster, and news anchor. Find out how the former DC diva and owner of 36 Nation manages her own live internet radio show. Sign up for a workshop today where Monica doesn't just share broadcasting tools, she puts you on the air.
Hey, we're are back. Yoga Heights instructor Sadie.
Sadie Lee, hello.
And
Sinu.
Sinu. Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
All right, so you guys heard in the last little segment that Ivan's a little wound up, so I want him to do some yoga. And besides, the last time it was my turn, I changed clothes and everything, and I pulled a muscle
driving here today. So I can't do anything.
But
you guys show us some yoga. Well, first off, why is yoga so important to do?
Yoga is, I think, so important to do because I think it's so much more than just a workout. So a lot of people in the West, they come to yoga through the poses, through the physical practice, but there's also a lot more, and it goes a lot deeper than that. So it's also has to do with mindfulness and meditation, and it also has to do with compassion and being kind and patient in your community, with yourself, all that good stuff.
So you just feel all the way around good, like mind, body, spirit, and soul with yoga. Okay, and what's the difference? Go ahead.
Well, I see a lot of people doing yoga. There's yoga places popping up all over the place, but they look very good. I am not good. How does one? Is it like a competitive sport that you can like practice and then get better and then like I'm yoga number 1? Like what is it even? Is it just like personal, completely personal?
It's very personal. I feel like yoga is a way to learn yourself. Yeah, so I feel like the only battle that you have is within. You know, that's the only fight that you need to be dealing with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. See, don't say that so deep too. Like I just slowed down just with her talking. I was all hyped. Just she said,
"That's what yoga
the
does
battle is within." I'm like this. I just feel like it should be like over the background. All right, so show us some yoga moves. You guys coach each other or talk about what we're gonna see here. You need the mic if you're gonna. And we're gonna let you do your segment. Yoga Heights in the building.
Sadie here is going to do Warrior 2, as we spoke a little bit early on the battle within, right? So with our warrior postures, we are called to fight against self-ignorance, those negative thoughts in our heads that tell us we can't or that we're not enough. So she has the knee over the heel. The back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. So you have a nice hip opening here in balance with some strengthening in the legs. She's also drawing the shoulders together so the arms become light and then opening up across the chest. So go ahead and find a little more length in your spine, Sadie. Good. See how powerful she looks? Look at that. I feel like Sadie is about to be completely undefeated in this battle against ignorance. So doesn't she look amazing?
So when you're in a pose like this, are you holding it? Are you flexing? Are you relaxing? What?
Like I said, this posture is a balance of strength and openness. So in certain areas of her body, she is engaging, like she's engaging her core. Again, she's drawing. It's very strong. She's breathing though. So as you begin to breathe, look, she's even opening up even more.
Wow.
So her back is strong, her heart is open, her hips are open, but her leg muscles are also very engaged. So she's breathing, and you can go ahead and relax, Sadie. You did great. What about a pose to counteract that? So what about a lengthening pose? Maybe seated forward fold. So come to seated. This is a way I like to do it because it helps you to maintain the integrity of your spine. Because oftentimes, I go back to that whole competitive part of yoga. Yeah. People are just like trying to force themselves into a posture. And that is a no. So Sadie, what I'm going to have her do is bend her knees and then glue her chest to her legs. This way she maintains the integrity of her spine, and her spine is long. So Sadie, go ahead and lift in your rib cage a little bit more. And then crawl your hips back slowly, only so much so that you're able to maintain that connection between the legs and the heart. This way the spine stays as straight as possible, right?
Wow. Not in a million years.
I mean, maybe in a million years.
Not in 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2.
Maybe in 2 years.
Let me show y'all my yoga real quick.
Go ahead. Let's see you do this.
Here we go. That's it.
See, oh, Monica. You have to be gentle. Know yourself.
Of course.
Yoga Heights, how can
yes.
people get information about classes individually? If you guys teach yoga classes, all that kind of stuff. Look at that camera.
All right. Okay, so Yoga Heights is located at 3506 Georgia Avenue Northwest. The website is www.yogaheightsdc.com. My name is Sinu. My Instagram is Yoga Sinu, YOGASIHNUU, pronounced like Sinu Possibilities. And my website is www.yogasihNUU.com.
Thank you very much. And Sadie, you have any information for us?
Sure, yeah. Instagram, also, you can find Yoga Heights there. It's at Yoga Heights DC, I believe. And you can find me, it's Sadie Lee. Lee is spelled Leigh, then _ the words dance yoga. Sadie Lee _ dance yoga. It's me.
Thank you guys so much. We're gonna get our flexibility on. Monica, thank you.
Jacob, go to commercial. Do we have something from Yoga Heights real quick before I? Okay, here we go.
He's gonna fall, and next we got Ricky coming up. Yeah.
Ricky.
Here. And whenever I want some good food in nice sized portions, not bird sized food, but big boy portions, I look no further than the Crystal City Sports Pub. Now, if you just stayed on the original first story of the restaurant, you'd be more than happy with the pool tables and the aforementioned good food. But then they went and added a grand second story with, check this out, 6 37-inch LCDs, 2 8-foot projection screen TVs, and a 10-foot projection screen TV, and as a cherry on the top, a state-of-the-art sound booth. They're open 365 days a year, and they are waiting for you. The Crystal City Sports Pub, 529 23rd Street South in Arlington, Virginia. Call them at 703-521-8215 or visit them on the web at ccsportspub.com.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all champions. We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
together.
We win together.
If you can play,
You can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
I am People Before Party, Ricky Vaughn, running for U.S. Senator for Maryland. So what's the deal? Weed is the seed we need to succeed. Just like Colorado, schools, education, and infrastructure, and lower taxes for marijuana profits. Consider the medical benefits of marijuana. No seizures for our children, and elimination of cancer for the elderly. It's time to do away with the old and enter the new. I am Ricky Vaughn, your next U.S. Senator. I am.
So our next U.S. Senator went to check on his car because he had a flat tire.
Oh no!
And he's not back. But we ran his promo, and Ricky talked earlier about. He got a chance to speak earlier about the little girl being in the play. We'll have him back again, and
you can see him tonight.
That's right, on CNN.
On CNN.
You know, that's how people do. They come on 36 Nation, CNN. It's all the same thing.
It's
like,
just. Somebody asked me what kind of national media experience. I said, well, we have senators-elect, Congress people. This is what we do.
That's
all right. We're just around. We do what we do.
We get to do whatever we want here.
Monica, talk to me. What's coming up in the next month?
I have zero idea, actually. I mean, we've got Paul Wharton is supposed to be coming.
Yes.
And Paul Wharton was just making drinks on Bravo. Look what's live or whatever that is with Andy Cohen. We've got Trayon White supposed to be coming. We have a sex therapist next Thursday.
I hope I don't know her.
You did. Wait a minute, you got okay. Well, we might just have to merge. It might be a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's gonna be.
A very special episode of
Thursday
36 Nation.
Right. We could have our sex therapist do it. We should just do like a competition of sex therapy.
Yes.
Sex competition. That sounded wrong.
Therapy.
This is where it's time to get off air. This is it. Listen, don't go anywhere.
When the credits roll, Monica.
Don't go anywhere. Thursday Night Tea is up with
Anthony.
Oh, hold on one second. Ricky, you know this is a live show, Senator. We have one. Just come get on the shot. Come here. Say hi. It's Thursday Night's Tea is up next. We're going to have this man back because we ran out of time. But we already said, CNN tonight.
Yes, CNN tonight, and the campaign kickoff is April 2nd.
April 2nd, campaign kickoff.
Okay.
Morgan State.
All
there
right,
it is.
HBCU. This man, go
Thank
out
you,
and
sir.
vote. Go out and vote. We love this guy. It's 36 Nation. We'll be back again next Thursday. Sex therapist next Thursday. All right. I shouldn't have said sex therapist in front of. You have to cut that.